We have on the line A.B. Stoddard with The Hill. A.B. is a shrewd observer of politics in this town. Really smart person. In fact, Larry, do you know what A.B. stands for?
What?
Awesome brain.
I had no idea.
She has an awesome brain.
Yeah, I would think she would not use the initials then. She should just
call herself Awesome
Right,
Brain.
exactly. Hey, Awesome.
Hey, A.B., how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah, what do you say to that?
Yeah, how do you follow that? I'm sorry. I'm just picking it. It's good to hear your voice, A.B. All right, so look, the president surprised a lot of people on Saturday when he said, okay, look, I feel like I have all the authority I need to do this. I think that attacking Syria would be the right thing to do in this circumstance, but I'm going to go to Congress, where you got peaceniks on the left and isolationists on the right, and a lot of people who think the president is overstepping his bounds, and a lot of people who think he's not going far enough. This is going to be a messy discussion.
I thought his announcement was absolutely staggering, because he is picking a fight that he doesn't know he can win, and if it's a fight, if he loses, it will have consequences for the rest of his presidency, for our national security, and for presidents in the future and their ability to defend us. It's really incredible. When you look at these conflicts, you can almost always look back and say, well, we should have gotten started, sooner, and maybe we could have done this. But it's not like Libya. I mean, Syria, while it was more difficult to be involved in Syria, it's been obvious for a long time, this sort of proxy war with Iran, and Israel has an enormous vulnerability here, and all these separate issues that made this something I think the administration should have known it was going to have to deal with. It wasn't going to go away. There was obviously people like General Petraeus and Hillary Clinton pushing for a response far earlier and some kind of intervention. For the president to really telegraph and leak that he was going to do this and he was going to go it alone and then change his mind, that he didn't decide a long time ago that he would do this with Congress, but sort of do this knee-jerk reaction on Friday, shocking the Secretary of State and others. And again, picking a fight he doesn't know he can win is really, I think it's just a really staggering moment, and I think he's set himself up for a terrible battle that could really sink his presidency and really put us in danger.
All right, so the Secretary of State, I mean, how would you feel were you John Kerry? You've gone out and you've made the hard sell. You've put your reputation on the line. You've said that the United States has to do this or will have no reputation in the world, and then you're sort of, in the last moments thrown under the bus.
Right. You could just see it in his responses yesterday and trying to, get through turning himself in and out of a pretzel to answer all these, questions about that. But he is a loyal person, and I think John Kerry has vast experience. No one in any party is going to disagree with that. He has a long time in the Congress, like the vice president, and unlike the president. I think that he will do what he can to work with the remaining allies that he can work with, and in Congress and on the world stage, to try to bring enormous pressure to bear to try to get a majority vote for this. I think it was a little ambitious of him, and probably not shrewd to say that it was a fight we were going to win. I mean, I think he doesn't know that yet, but I think that John Kerry is probably better suited than the president to actually save this for the president and actually change some minds in Congress. And that actually might involve, by the way, changing what the original plan was. And I just want to back up and say, it's not that going to Congress is the wrong thing. It would be much better for President Obama to have the support of the Congress. It's that he never intended to do it from the start, and he had to change his mind at the last minute, really kind of backing the Congress into a place where it feels like they're trying to save his presidency and our reputation and credibility around the world. It's really awfully strange. But John Kerry you could see from his responses, he's going to take on this challenge whether he likes it or not, and I don't think he's going to embarrass the president. He's going to try to change minds on the Hill.
Well, and AB Stoddard, they're going to start counting votes there on the Hill already on this thing. Reports are that Congress is evenly divided, which, suggests if it's evenly divided now, after some arm twisting, he'll probably get his vote, I would think. But what is your feel of this? I mean, do you think that they're going to be able to, and will the only argument be, well, listen, this is the presidency and the president's reputation on the line, you've got to step up just to save his reputation?
No, that's not going to be the only argument for trying to sway Republicans. I mean, the argument from more establishment internationalists on the Republican side to the more isolationist wing of their party will be, this is, truly going to endanger us and get us into a wider conflict. This is we have a coming challenge with Iran, and I think that the hawks in that party will try to convince them to stand board and not talk about President Obama, because that's not the way to win votes from the very right wing of the Republican conference in Congress. I think what's interesting on the Democratic side, if you talk to Democrats privately, none of them are defending the president. They're all in a state of shock. They can't believe the way that this happened. It's sort of the last way to get Congress's approval.
What do you think it was?
I think there is a desire on the part of Nancy Pelosi and others to try to kind of have the president's back and save his butt here. So I'm not going to be surprised if we see more Democratic votes than we would have thought.
Well, what was it, do you think, in the last analysis that caused this such a dramatic shift? We're headed toward it. We're headed toward it. Ooh, well, no, maybe not. Was it the public opinion polls?
I think it was a combination. I mean, he was very spooked by what happened with the Brits, and that is a significant blow. Probably one he couldn't have anticipated because he saw David Cameron out on a limb. I think that was quite shocking, and combined with the polls, he probably lost his nerve. What's interesting, though, is to say a strike is imminent and to literally begin to move warships and to actually begin to complete, to activate this, and then say there's no imminent threat, so we can have a long, horrible fight in the Congress and public back in your districts for another 13 days.
Yeah, back to that long fight real fast. And we're almost out of time, maybe, Stoddard of the Hill, but does John Boehner dispense with this quickly? Because he's got a full agenda with only 9 scheduled days in Congress this month.
Oh, I think Harry Reid, Democrat in the Senate, and John Boehner over on the House side, both of them are interested in getting rid of this quickly because it is a pressing question, and they do have other stuff they want to move on to. So I think and it'll be painful. So I think they want it off the slate.
All right. Well, A.B. Stoddard, it is always a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Talk to you.